Hey everybody, welcome back to Bones and Brews. It's now early spring, which means a lot of cool things are happening, especially if you're a sports fan. Kicking off Major League Baseball later this week, especially home opener here in St. Louis. Excited about that. You got the wrapping up of the Final Four coming up as well in NCAA basketball for the men's and women's this upcoming weekend. And then right after that, as it's phrased, a tradition like no other, the Masters Golf Tournament taking place at Augusta National there in Augusta, Georgia. If you do a little research on Augusta National and the history of the Masters, you're going to find something called the pimento cheese sandwich. So pimento cheese is a great southern staple. I love making homemade pimento cheese like you see right here. We're going to take this homemade pimento cheese today and we're going to make our own, I'm going to call it a high class pimento cheese sandwich on the Blackstone griddle. We're going to use a few ingredients. Got myself some fresh sliced sourdough bread here. You can use any bread you like. Of course, that homemade pimento cheese. If you want the recipe for this, check it out in the description. There'll be a link, as well as you can hit that banner right above at this time. Also, we're going to slice up some fresh tomato. I've also already made some thick bacon here on the Blackstone, so that's already to use as well. And then last but not least, we're going to add a little sweet heat to this at the same time. I love using local ingredients. So from here in St. Louis, this is Lucky Lola's. Their sweet jalapeno heat. So this is like a candied jalapeno taste with a hint of pineapple, but more of a jelly style that we're going to use in there as well. When you're making this sandwich at home, you can definitely use more of a just candied jalapenos, as many as you like, on there as well. One other thing I'll add, if you're making our homemade pimento cheese, you can add more or less of those diced jalapenos that you see in that recipe as well. Make it as hot as you like. All right, team? So let's get started on the Blackstone. Okay, what I've done first is I went ahead and toasted what's going to be the inside of that bread. Just give it a light toast, nice and warm on that inside here. And then we're going to build our sandwich so we can get it on that Blackstone and make that press. So I'm going to start with one side of that bread, and I'm going to go ahead and put a nice thick coat of that pimento cheese in there. Don't have to be shy with it. If you're using a big old piece of bread like I am, feel free to share it with somebody or maybe not. All right, we're going to get that spread in there nice and thick once again. All right, add a little more in there. All right, so we got that pimento cheese on that side. On the other side, I'm going to take a little bit of that sweet jalapeno heat that I was talking about. We're going to put that in there as well. Not as thick, obviously, as I was with that pimento cheese. This is more just a light coating on the other side of that bread. You can see those jalapenos, that candy, just sweet, even glazed look to that. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. I put it on burgers, put it on top of anything, to be honest. It's just amazing. All right, next layer, we're going to add some fresh tomatoes on there. Got that sliced tomato. And then, of course, we've got to add that bacon in there as well. The more, the better, of course. Why not? 5 thick old pieces of bacon. Can never be too thick. All right, and we're going to flip that over. And now, my friends, we're going to take it over here and get it on the Blackstone. All right, I've taken just a little bit of butter, get it on that griddle. We're going to take that sandwich just nice and thick. 2 hands for that bad boy. And then I've got my press here that I've actually had sitting on at that Blackstone get nice and hot. We're going to smash that down just a little bit and let it sit on that under that press for a minute or two, and then we'll flip that sandwich over. All right, we have flipped it over. Golden brown there. Get that press going on the other side. Get that other side nice and toasted as well. All right, we have pulled that sandwich off of that Blackstone griddle. That cheese is nice and warmer, and that pimento cheese just golden brown on that toasted bread as well. I'll let it sit here for just a moment, but let's go ahead and cut it up here in half, just in case we might want to share it with somebody later. We'll open it up there and take a look inside. That tomato, that bacon, that jalapeno glaze, I mean, just oozing out. I mean, what can get any better, friends? Let's give it a taste test here in a moment. All right, friends, let's give this a taste test here, and then we got it all plated. Just waiting for, hopefully it's cooled just enough so that cheese doesn't go oozing out of the bottom of here. Mmm. Friends, I can't even describe how delicious this is. That pimento cheese with that sweet Lucky Lotus, that sweet jalapeno on the other side, that thick bacon, there's just freshly sliced tomatoes. This is heaven on earth right here on a hot summer day. This sandwich just, man, just takes it over the top. Mmm. And you know it's good when you gotta lick your fingers. All right, friends. This is absolutely delicious. Might rank as one of my all-time favorite sandwiches, just because of that homemade pimento cheese. I'm telling you, that makes it, as well as Lucky Lola's. I will put a link to these guys as well in the description. You can actually order their stuff, even though they're local here in St. Louis. You can order from online on them as well. So I highly recommend giving this a try. It's worth, I believe, the $7 it is online. So if you love this recipe, remember, like our channel, subscribe to us. We love when we get subscribers. That shows us that you appreciate what we're doing here in our recipes. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.